What's up, NIO family? This is Rey-Jay back with another video. And in this one, I want to break down what's happening with NIO, Tesla, SPY, and the broader markets. I'm going to break down what's happening with the economic calendar moving forward, what you should be watching for as time goes on as we have new updates coming out. Just know that I am not a financial planner, so take nothing I'm saying as financial advice whatsoever. And also, if you guys can, please check out my Moomoo link that's down below, or use my QR code right here to sign up. If you sign up for Moomoo, the link down below, and deposit $100, you're going to get $20 of free Nvidia stock. If you deposit $2,000 or more, you're going to get $50 worth of Nvidia plus a $100 cash reward. Deposits $10,000 or more to get $300 worth of Nvidia for free plus $100, or deposits $50,000 or more to get $1,000 of free Nvidia stock plus $100. You're also going to qualify for an 8.1% APY on uninvested cash, and the offer ends very soon, so please use my link down below to sign up. Anyways, as far as the market's going, NIO is range bound. As we approach the low sixes, we like to bounce. As we approach the low sevens, we like to reject it. And we've been going back and forth for quite some time. Now, we got this rejection off our key EMAs, and there is going to be a risk of us dipping closer to like 6.5 before we potentially bounce again. So I do want to warn you guys to watch those levels very closely. There is some news coming out that the ET9 is getting lots of attention. I didn't see anything else that was too crazy coming out for NIO specifically. Mizuho still gives NIO a neutral rating, and for now, the market is once again still quite neutral. The price-price ratio is falling, though it shows that NIO is losing a little bit of strength, so it's in the middle so far. And tomorrow is going to be Wednesday. We do tend to be green about 54% of the time on Wednesdays, but we'll see if that ends up being the case. There are some big pieces of news coming out. Netflix is dropping after they missed their third quarter earnings, and with that happening, we'll see how that ends up affecting the market heading into tomorrow. But tomorrow is going to be a big day since we also have Tesla and IBM announcing their earnings after market close tomorrow. So we'll see what that leads to. Also, when it comes to news, right now we're on day 21 of the U.S. government shutdown, and the tensions between the U.S. and China remain as at the same place because we're waiting to see what ends up happening. And President Trump is still going to be meeting up with Xi Jinping very soon, but we're waiting to see if there's going to be a deal between the U.S. and China. For now, there's not really any significant data, so the market's going to move more based off technicals. And I think that NIO is forming a much larger inverse head and shoulders. So you have a left shoulder here, a head, and a possible right shoulder that's now forming. So the setup has changed a bit. And we might dip a little bit more for 6.5, but then I'm going to be looking to see if we could bounce back up just like this. That's what I think is the most likely possibility for NIO. There might be some temporary downside only for us to bounce, so just keep that in mind. As far as SPY is going, we're at 670 right now. We're going to see if this rising wedge is going to slowly pan out or not. We're very, very neutral, at least for the time being. We saw a lot of sideways price action today. But when you zoom in and go into like the smaller time frames, such as like the 30 minutes time frame, we're going to see if this is forming another distributive pattern. There's a slight bearish divergence here, which might lead to downside. And on the daily time frame, SPY has a gap to fill down here. So if we're about to turn, there's a big gap to fill all the way down towards 664. So if we're bullish, I would like to see us basically try to hold above 672. If we don't hold 670, though, we could be looking for a move to fill the gap at 664. So be very careful if that ends up being the case. For the QQQ, it's the same thing. We're starting to turn here. We're going to see if we hold above 613 to be bullish. If we don't, we're watching 610. 610 has to hold. If it doesn't, we could be dipping to 604 to fill the gap. So please be very mindful of that. On top of this, the IWM is starting to turn here. This setup does favor 245. Then eventually this gap fill back down towards 243. ES is also starting to turn just a little bit. There's some tough resistance near 67.80. We're range bound here, but if we end up losing 67.50, we're looking for a bigger move down. NQ is also range bound. We need to hold above 25,400. If not, we're looking for 25,100 as our target. Bitcoin got a rejection off its 200 EMA. It's now favoring 108,000. Tesla pumped very nicely to about 450. Then we got a slight rejection here, so we're going to see how well Tesla could hold up. Overall, it's still holding up well, but be very mindful of the fact that we're going to likely retest now 439 to 435 before it tries to bounce. And as far as Nvidia is going, this might dip a little bit. It might be retesting 178, and that could drag the market lower. Apple's flat here might be retesting 260 or below, so we'll see how that goes. AMD is going to likely retest 234. Coinbase might be retesting essentially 328. Amazon's kind of rejecting here, might be dipping towards like 220 again, which could also drag us down. Meta is rejecting near 733. I could be looking for 723 after that. Google might retest 250 or below, and then Microsoft might be retesting 515 for some downside. So the majority of stocks are starting to dip. The VIX is at support at 7.4. If this holds, we could be looking for a bounce to 19. This makes me suspect the most likely possibilities the market dips a little bit. We're going to see if 670 holds on SPY, if the QQQ could hold 610. If not, there might be some downside approaching Tesla's earnings tomorrow, and that may also drag NIO down back down to 6.5. But even if NIO does dip a little bit, we still have this inverse head and shoulder setup. So we still have a left shoulder, this head and a right shoulder forming. We might dip a little bit more by about 20 cents, 25 cents, and then we're going to be looking to see if we bounce after that. All right, so that's it for this one. I want to make this video nice, short, sweet, and simple. Thank you for listening, guys. Have a good one, and peace out.